Hello, my name is Lulu Ledoux, and I'm dead. But the show must go on. A Night to Baguette is an absurdist tragicomic whodunit cabaret within a play. Mon Dieu, what a genre! In the show, I will reenact my final hours, introduce the Swiss suspects, sing real and imagined French chansons, reveal my killer, and finally sing the greatest French song ever written. I'm Louise McCabe. I'm the writer and lead performer of A Night to Baguette, which is also produced by my company, Guilty Pleasures Shows. You may remember me from the 2017 Guilty Pleasures Cabaret and Burlesque Festival, which was held in Brunswick Heads, New South Wales, and which I produced alongside the Brunswick Picture House, the award-winning rock and roll comedy The Runner-Up, and 2 sellout seasons of A Tribute to Kate Bush. A Night to Baguette also stars Deborah Brennan, Denise Boylan, Ingrid Homburg, Pearl Tizzy, Jimmy Vine and Dylan Warren, but it can be performed with a smaller cast. The show features live music, nail-biting suspense and more subverted French cliches than you can shake a baguette at. After years of plague, fire, floods, inflation, the rise of fascism and Scotty from marketing, I believe audiences will find A Night to Baguette meaningful, funny and cathartic. Come and break bread with me at A Night to Baguette and let's talk about the possibility of touring the show.
First you get down on your knees, fiddle with the old rosary, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Hi there, I'm Anthony Hubmaier and I am the writer, director and performer for the cabaret show An Unwasted Evening, The Genius of Tom Lehrer. This 1-hour show is a merry journey exploring the life and times of one of the world's great musical satirists, Tom Lehrer, retold through his timeless witty songs and authentically presented in his unique solo singer-pianist style. The purpose of this show is to entertain, and I use the full range of cabaret techniques, weaving humorous contextual patter, dramatic and dynamic singing, over-the-top acting, musical virtuosity as well as audience cajoling, all designed to have the audience laughing, singing and maybe even dancing, so that in the words of Tom Lehrer, it can help them forget, perhaps for a while, their drab, wretched lives. But most importantly for me, they're just great songs to perform, and Tom Lehrer's life is a great story to share. It's a show that is accessible to all audiences, and I'm very keen to take it to a wider regional, national, or even international audience. Can you help? There are very few technical requirements for the show, and it could easily be tailored to suit a wide range of performing formats and spaces. I'm also keen to collaborate with other like-minded entertainers who may be looking to create something new and are looking for a pianist-singer for that special gig or performing project. So if you too can see the possibilities or are curious, please come and see the show and let's chat and explore the possibilities.
Hello, we're George
and Liv,
and we are Boy Joyce. Boy. We're here at Adelaide Fringe with our musical cabaret show Pleasure Seekers, a high-energy homage to hedonism in all its filthy, fabulous glory.
The show is on from the 3rd till the 12th of March for 8 performances only, which is a little bit of a strange decision from us considering it took us 24 hours on a flight around the world to get here. But we'll do anything to escape the UK right now.
Talking of which, we'd love to come and perform at one of your venues, or maybe collaborate on another project, because we don't just do cabaret, we also do proper theatre.
We've recently worked with a wonderful British writer called William Shakespeare on his show Titus Andronicus, which is currently playing at the aptly named Shakespeare's Globe in London.
Oh look, there we are. So we would love to talk to producers, promoters, chefs, waiters, cleaners, anyone really. Talk to anyone.
Yeah. Just come to our show, Pleasure Seekers.
By Bourgeois and Maurice.
That's how you say it.
Yeah, that's how you say it. The producer told me in my ear, yeah.
Salut, this is my show Chansons and it traveled the world. From the US to the UK, Edinburgh Fringe, Norway, Germany, Iceland and many more. So you can tour me nearly everywhere because I speak English, French and German in my show. I also perform at conferences where I connect the topic to the event.
What piaf means?
can book me in musical theaters, cafe theaters, cabarets. Theaters from 100 to 1,000 seats, and many more. So you have a beautiful show, and it's about intercultural understanding, about France, about traveling the world, and it can be performed in German, English, and French. And I love to meet you and see what else we can do together. Write me, romel@chansons.show. Au revoir.
I am Bobby, and this year at the Adelaide Fringe I am debuting my first ever solo show, Closure at a Self-Serve Checkout. It is a one-woman comedy cabaret show about life, about love, about dating, about a little bit of astrology, about being ghosted, and about why ultimately we shouldn't date boys with mustaches.
I guess that's not quite fair. His thread count was quite high.
Closure at a Self-Serve Checkout combines original comedic songs with monologues full of heart and truth to take my audience on my own personal journey of dating, or lack thereof, and finding ways for us all to take our broken hearts of the past and laugh about it together. This work is important to me and unique in its strong female perspective, but also the quirky humour of it all, and ultimately the relatability of all of these stories and songs.
I think it's really crap that opposites attract because the opposite of me is an apathetic cunt.
I am really excited to continue developing it, so I'm looking for anyone that would like to collaborate on it. Any sort of artists, composers, comedians, musicians that are interested in these stories and this subject matter. I'm also looking forward to touring it interstate and internationally, and developing it and seeing where these stories can go.
Hey Queen, my name's Dean Misdell and I'm here to talk to you about my show, Life's a Drag. Life's a Drag is a light-hearted, humorous and heartfelt look at life through the lens of a drag queen, aka me. Throughout the show, I tell stories, sing songs, and maybe even crack a joke or two. And as the name of the show suggests, they are stories of my life. All of them 100% true. Some of them a little too true. Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. Throughout the show, I touch on topics such as family, career, dating, and even that little pesky pandemic we've all been dealing with. All stories that all humans can relate to on one level or another. Life's a Drag is an award-winning show, having won the weekly and overall award for Best Cabaret and Variety Show at the Perth Fringe World in 2022, as well as Best Show at the Dubbo Fringe and the People's Choice Award at Darwin Fringe. The beauty of this show is it can be scaled up or scaled down depending on the size of your venue and the budget we're working with. It can be performed as an intimate one-woman cabaret show, or it can be performed as a full-scale theatre production with a live band and backup dancers. The options are endless. Life's a Drag is a tale of turning lemons into lemonade, navigating life's twists and turns, and realising you can have more success than you ever dreamed of, all while being your authentic self.
Hi, I'm Jay West from the Hairy Godmothers, and we want to take you to a whole new world of possibilities with our show, Disney and Drag, Once Upon a Parody. Come on, let's go. Disney and Drag Once Upon a Parody flips the script of what finding one true love looks like. So we follow the hero's journey, trying to find one true love and who will fit the glass slipper. The hero is guided by the most unlikely character, the Hairy Godmother, who is a beer-drinking, hilarious larrikin who takes the hero on a wild and wonderful journey of self-discovery. So we cover topics such as toxic masculinity, self-expression, have some adult themes in there, but ultimately the story is about self-love. We've been able to tour Australia, so Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and some regional trips, which we've absolutely loved and would take any more opportunities in any of those areas. But we'd also love to head over to Brighton, Edinburgh, and the Europe region this summer. So if you are a venue looking for a show or a publicist that has any contacts and reach in that area, we'd love to chat to you and go down the rabbit hole.
Hi, I'm Libby Trainer Parker, and I'm not a doctor, but I am one of the performers and creators of Endo Days, a comedy cabaret about endometriosis. Endometriosis is a condition that affects 1 in 9 people who menstruate. It's a chronic, incurable pain condition and there's nothing to laugh about. But we give it a good nudge, a very gentle nudge, in this singing support group, which includes original songs, lots of humour and a healthy dose of education and information. We've enjoyed 3 seasons of sold-out audiences here in Adelaide, and we won the Fringe Weekly Award for Best Cabaret. We feel it's time to take the show to wider audiences, particularly interstate where there's lots of chatter happening about the condition, and maybe rural and regional areas where there's not as much discussion or awareness about it. I've worked in the endometriosis awareness and education sphere and have spent some time on the Australian Coalition for Endometriosis, and I also have a book coming out conveniently called Endo Days, which has been commissioned and published by Wakefield Press, and that'll be coming out this year. We've turned my difficult experiences with endometriosis into a show that people can learn from, feel accepted and feel seen. This year at Fringe, we'll be performing Endo Days back-to-back alongside a brand new show that we've written called Extracurricular, which is about our hilarious experiences as teachers. And using the same cast for both, we feel that there's potential to tour both of the shows at the same time. Endo Days is on at the Lark at Gluttony for 3 weekends, starting from the 18th of February at the very endo-friendly time of 4 p.m. Jaden, not appropriate, thanks. Jaden, 10 papers, thanks, Jaden.
Excuse me, inside voices, please.
Sheridan, are you on your phone again? No phones in class. Give me the phone, please, Sheridan. Give me the phone, Sheridan, give me the phone. Sorry, I'm Libby Trainer Parker.
And I'm Matt Trainer. We are a South Australian comedy cabaret duo, and for this Fringe, we're premiering a new show called Extracurricular.
After working together for the past 10 years and building on the success of our other show, Endo Days, we've now put together a comedy cabaret inspired by our years of experience as high school teachers, which is where we met. Romance.
Teachers are overworked and underpaid with a high burnout rate and a mandatory addiction to coffee. It's a job description that just keeps on growing.
This show is about those experiences, and it's by teachers, and it's for teachers, or anyone that's sat in the classroom, really. We tackle this with a combination of comedy, audience participation, original songs, and all backed by a pretty awesome 3-piece band.
Since tickets have gone on sale, we've seen strong demand, and we believe that this is a show that will be successful anywhere there are teachers that want to see it.
In Fringe 2023, we're performing this back-to-back alongside a return season of our award-winning cabaret Endo Days. And using the same cast for both, we reckon that there's potential to tour these 2 shows at the same time.
Extracurricular is on at the Lark in Gluttony from February 17 through to March 5, and it's on at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Jaden, no.
Hi, my name's Lou Blackwell, and I'm the creator of Love on the Left Bank, a cabaret show that tells the remarkable story of French singer Juliette Gréco. She might be unknown here, but in France she's an icon. She landed in war-torn Paris at the tender age of 16, tiny, starving and alone, and went on to become a huge star of the French chanson tradition. I lived as a jazz singer in Paris. I love that city. This is my love song to Paris. Juliette sang the songs of Paris. She's the muse of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, a fierce defender of liberty and a champion of the arts. I become Juliette, telling her story and singing the songs of so many legendary writers. Our musical director, Mark Simeon Ferguson, leads an incredible 6-piece band. It's an absolute feast of beautiful songs. We recreate cabaret nights in the legendary underground clubs of Saint-Germain-des-Prés. The musicians perform songs and play characters in the story. Cuban trumpet sensation Lazaro Numa plays Miles Davis, Juliette's great love. Violinist Julian Ferraretto plays Jean-Paul Sartre, who encouraged Juliette to sing. Catherine Fitzgerald directed the show, which opened to great acclaim at the 2022 Adelaide Cabaret Festival. It's time to take it on the road. Hop on board, come see our show at the Fringe.
Hello, my name is Erin Jade and I am the writer, producer and performer of Medusa's Guide to Modern Dating, a solo cabaret making its debut in the 2023 Adelaide Fringe. I'm also supported by my wonderful director and dramaturgy, Izzy Hart. Medusa's Guide is at its very heart a feminist retelling of the myth of Medusa, blanketed in comedy, music, and of course, very practical tips on navigating the dating scene. The classic story of Medusa as a monster has never quite sat right with me, but once I looked back at the story, and more importantly, who was telling it, it was very obvious that her side of the story would be very different. I felt so strongly, in fact, about telling her side of the story that I wanted to bring her to audiences for my first solo show. So this show takes Medusa and puts her in the modern day. Now obviously she'd be belting Lizzo, Meredith Brooks, some Cardi B. She'd regale audiences with her wisdom on love and life and straighten out the record in the process, doing it all in some fabulous Gorgon Gaze proof glasses. I'd love to eventually expand this show, looking at bringing it to more audiences, using musicians, more elaborate sets and costumes, but at the moment what I'm looking for most is support and advice. I'm still relatively new to my professional practice, and I'm looking for any opportunities that I can get to speak to industry professionals about where I can take this. So I'd love to see you there and have a chat.
Hello, I'm Amelia Ryan.
I'm Michael Griffiths, and we are 2/3 of the cast of Simply Brill, along with our esteemed colleague, Michaela Berger.
Isn't she gorgeous? Simply Brill is an amplified assembly production that premiered to a sellout season at the 2022 Adelaide Cabaret Festival, and we're really thrilled to be bringing it back for this year's Fringe.
Simply Brill tells the incredible story of a bunch of teenage songwriters who wrote out of the Brill Building in New York City between 1958 and 1964, including Burt Bacharach, Neil Sedaka, Neil Diamond,
Carole King, Ellie Greenwich, Cynthia Weil. Now these kids wrote songs that literally defined an entire generation. Now the show is really important because it shares this magical little slice of untold pop history. There is strong female players, there is romance, there is plenty of sass.
and it has incredible universal appeal with songs that they span generations. They get audiences up on their feet and singing along with lyrics to rival Shakespeare. Think do ron ron ron, do ron ron, and who put the bomb in the bomb, ba-bomb, ba-bomb.
Now we are ready to tour. We have a cast of 7. We have great marketing collateral. We are represented by Derek Bailey at Nicholas Clark Management, and we're seeking regional, national and international opportunities.
We look forward to connecting with you at Adelaide Fringe.
Hello, my name's Murray Rain, and I've been a puppeteer for 40 years. Along with artistic director James Wellesby, we have created an extraterrestrial puppet extravaganza called They Came from Uranus. The show, 55 minutes in duration, is presented in its own self-contained set, incorporating state-of-the-art lighting, multimedia projections, shadow puppetry, as well as a form of puppetry which is very unique and a puppetry you very rarely see, called humanettes. And it's presented in a style of theatre called curtain of light. It's an illusion. The puppet moves by itself in its own elaborate burlesque theatre. This is strictly an adults-only show. This outrageous extravaganza is ideal for intimate and mid-sized venues. It's also affordable because it travels with one performer and one stage manager. It's also important for me, as a member of the LGBTIQ community, to offer new, exciting, and outrageous work. So, I look forward to seeing you in Uranus.
Hi, I'm Tasha, and I'm from Up for Tea Productions. I'm an interdisciplinary artist, and I work across the expanded field of sculpture, which means visual arts, video, sound, writing, creating theatre, and now I've written my debut cabaret, Unapologetic. So Unapologetic finally tells my story From years and years and years of, as a speech pathologist and a mother, giving voice to other people, I'm finally telling my stories. And I'm telling those stories that have impacted me generationally, across the years, across space and ancestrally. And speaking to those aspects that we all experience, no matter what our age, the impacts on us, impacts on the way that we are able to function in this world. And I can see it all now that I'm perimenopausal. And I share it with you because I feel that by sharing my story, it would be so much easier for you to accept your story. So Unapologetic is already at a stage where it's ready to be toured. So I'm really eager during 2024 to actually tour it regionally, nationally, maybe internationally. I'd just love to open the conversation about these things. I'm also interested to get as much guidance, particularly given cabaret is a new area for me. And if there are any producers out there who are interested, I'd be really keen to chat.
Well, g'day gorgeous. My name is Valerie Hex and I am the Artistic Director of Yummy Productions. Now, our shows in Adelaide Fringe 2023 are Yummy Iconic and Yummy the Kids Extravaganza. Now, Yummy Iconic is our flagship show for audiences 18 plus. It's an incredible cabaret full of burlesque, drag, circus, comedy, a great variety show with a very unique sense of style. It's all about how embracing femininity will make the world a better place. These are world-class performers, and Yummy has been going for 8 years, and we've toured around the world. We've been in South Bank, London, the West End, London, Edinburgh. We got a 5-star review in the Scotsman, as well as touring all across Australia and New Zealand. So Yummy is kind of a big deal, a big fabulous variety cabaret, and you don't want to miss it. Now, our Kids Extravaganza is our first ever kids show, and it's not quite what you expect. On one hand, it is a kids cabaret with short format circus works, but on the other hand, it's a narrative about following your dreams, even if other people think that they're ridiculous. And the show is full of characters and a very heartwarming storyline. So check out both Yummy Iconic and Yummy the Kids Extravaganza because they're touring right now.